It wasn't until Biscuit tried to bark back at the Pacific Ocean that I realized this trip might just be the most adorable disaster we'd ever embark on. Biscuit, my 6-month-old golden retriever, was the kind of puppy who could find adventure in the smallest patch of grass back home. So, when I decided to bring her along on my first trip to California, I thought, what could possibly go wrong? Everything started innocently enough. We landed at LAX, and Biscuit was already wide-eyed with wonder, her nose working overtime to process the unfamiliar smells. But it was the beach that stole her little doggy heart. The moment Biscuit's paws touched the sand, she froze, as if unsure whether it was solid ground or a weird kind of dirt. She tentatively sniffed it, then dug furiously for a few seconds before stopping to look up at me, her face a mix of triumph and confusion. Then she saw the waves. Her head tilted dramatically as she watched the water roll in and out, her ears perked, and her tail wagging cautiously. But when a particularly large wave crashed onto the shore, Biscuit's entire demeanor changed. She puffed up her chest, let out a high-pitched bark, and charged forward as if to defend me from this strange, growling monster. It was cute until the ocean barked back. A small wave barely grazed her paws, but Biscuit squealed like it was a tidal wave, spun in a frantic circle, and bolted on the sand, leaving tiny paw prints in her wake. She peeked over my shoulder as if expecting me to protect her from the vengeful water. I laughed so hard I could barely stand, tears streaming down my face as Biscuit glared at the ocean like it had personally insulted her. After a truce with the ocean, Biscuit agreed to stay at least 20 feet away. We explored the boardwalk. She sniffed every palm tree like it was the most fascinating discovery of her life, and tried to chase a skateboarder with the enthusiasm of a sprinter in the Olympics. Venice Beach was another level of chaos. Biscuit nearly toppled a street performer juggling flaming batons when she decided his act needed closer inspection. Thankfully, the man had a good sense of humor, and even posed for a selfie with her. The highlight, or lowlight, of the day came when I bought an ice cream cone. 1 second I was taking a bite, and the next, Biscuit's tongue was slurping up half of the melting vanilla. She looked so proud of herself, her tail wagging like a metronome, that I couldn't even be mad. As the sun began to set, we found a quiet patch of beach. Biscuit, still sandy and slightly damp, finally curled up in my lap, her big brown eyes gazing up at me. It was a rare calm moment in a day filled with pure puppy chaos. On the drive home, Biscuit passed out in the back seat, her body sprawled across the seat like she owned it. She was still covered in sand, but her little snores were the soundtrack to my reflection on the day. California had been an adventure, all right. It wasn't perfect, but in every goofy, chaotic moment, Biscuit made it unforgettable. And as I glanced back at her sleeping face, I couldn't help but think that she'd won California over, one paw print at a time.